Have you ever stopped to think about what truly matters in life after 70? As we grow older, we realize that some of the things we once held dear no longer serve us, and that's okay. This video will explore 9 things that become meaningless after 70, and how releasing these burdens can lead to a more fulfilling, lighter life. But why should you stick around to the end? By the time you finish watching, you'll have a clearer understanding of how to embrace freedom, simplify your life, and prioritize what brings you joy and peace. You'll learn how to let go of unnecessary worries, material possessions, and outdated goals. This video will give you practical advice on how to break free from toxic relationships, societal pressures, and the need for constant approval. By understanding these powerful shifts, you'll see how to make the most of your later years, live authentically, and start living life on your terms. So, stay with us until the end to discover the freedom that comes with releasing what no longer serves you, and how to fill your life with more happiness and meaningful connections. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. 1. Worrying about the opinions of others. For much of our lives, many of us are conditioned to care far too much about how others perceive us. From the moment we're born, we're subtly taught to seek approval, to meet the expectations of our family, friends, colleagues, and society at large. We chase after validation like a desperate flame, believing that external recognition is what defines us. Every career milestone, every personal choice, every social interaction becomes tangled in the web of others' judgments. We find ourselves trapped in the illusion that our worth is measured by how others see us. But as the years pass, a remarkable transformation begins to unfold. With age comes wisdom, an understanding that is impossible to grasp when we are younger. By the time we reach the age of 70, the intense pressure to seek approval from the world outside begins to lose its grip. The weight of others' opinions starts to feel like a distant echo, irrelevant to the rich tapestry of life we have woven for ourselves. At this stage, you've lived enough to realize that your worth is not defined by others. The world's judgments no longer have the power to shape your sense of self. You've earned the right to stand tall in the power of your truth. This profound shift brings with it a sense of freedom so liberating, it feels like a rebirth. No longer do you bend to the whims of societal expectations or seek to please others at the cost of your happiness. You've come to understand that genuine contentment is born not from chasing external validation, but from living in harmony with your values, your own desires, and your own sense of purpose. It's a realization that, at this point in your life, your happiness is the only approval you need. Take a moment to reflect on the countless times you've made decisions based on what others might think. Perhaps you've chosen a career, a relationship, or a lifestyle that was driven more by outside influences than by your own heart's desire. Did those choices bring you fulfillment, or were they merely attempts to live up to someone else's idea of success? Now, picture the indescribable liberation that comes with making decisions solely from the wellspring of your inner wisdom. Whether it's how you dress, the home you choose to live in, or the way you spend your precious time, the choice is yours alone to make. No longer do you need to look over your shoulder for approval. This is your moment to finally live life on your terms, unburdened by the crushing weight of others' opinions. Letting go of this incessant need for validation is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's not just about freedom, it's about reclaiming your power. In releasing the chains that once bound you, you find a profound peace, a joy that bubbles from within, simply from the act of being true to yourself. There is no greater liberation than this, and as you embrace it, you'll feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for the life you've lived and the person you've become. 2. Accumulating material possessions. In the vibrant, fleeting years of our youth, many of us are driven by the intoxicating allure of accumulating material possessions. The dream of owning a house, driving a sleek new car, or adorning our lives with the latest fashions often becomes a symbol of success, security, and self-worth. We equate these possessions with achievement, mistakenly believing that they will bring us lasting happiness and fulfillment. But as the years pass and wisdom settles in, the harsh reality begins to unfold. True happiness is never found in the things we accumulate. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. By the time we reach our 70s, we have likely experienced the disillusionment of chasing after possessions that, in the end, offer little more than momentary satisfaction. The once desired items that filled our homes, closets, and hearts no longer hold the same power over us. Instead, they begin to feel more like burdens, silent reminders of a past where we believed that material wealth would bring us peace. The cars, the clothes, the furniture, all these things we once thought we couldn't live without, now serve only to clutter our homes, our minds, and our spirits. What was once a symbol of success has become a weight upon our shoulders. The possessions we worked so hard to acquire now demand our attention, energy, and resources. We find ourselves trapped in a cycle of maintenance, dusting, repairing, organizing, only to be left feeling more overwhelmed and less fulfilled. The reality sinks in. In a world that constantly urges us to acquire more, we may find that the things we own end up owning us. And as we grow older, the chase for possessions begins to feel not like a pursuit of joy, but a pursuit of stress. Now is the perfect time for reflection. The burden of materialism has been carried long enough. It's a powerful moment to pause and evaluate your relationship with your possessions. What truly adds value to your life? What is worth keeping? And what is merely a chain holding you back? Ask yourself, is this thing still serving me, or is it serving to clutter my life and mind? Walk through your home with new eyes. Look at the furniture that no longer brings comfort, the clothes you haven't worn in years, or the gadgets gathering dust in drawers. All these items that you once thought defined you are now just taking up space, both physically and emotionally. Decluttering is not just about tidying up your home, it's about liberating yourself. As you let go of the things that no longer serve a purpose, you create space for so much more. Space for new experiences, fresh memories, and deep connections that truly nourish your soul. The beauty of life lies not in the things we possess, but in the love we share, the memories we create, and the personal growth we embrace. The joy of life is found in relationships, meaningful moments, and the peace that comes with simplifying our existence. When we release the grip on material things, we open ourselves up to the most profound treasure of all, the freedom to live fully, without the weight of unnecessary possessions holding us back. 3. Maintaining social obligations that no longer bring joy. As we journey through life, especially in our earlier years, there's often an underlying sense of obligation that compels us to attend social events and gatherings and maintain connections, even when they no longer spark joy or fulfillment. Whether it's out of politeness, the desire to keep relationships intact, or simply a habit that's deeply ingrained in us, we frequently find ourselves agreeing to participate in things we'd rather avoid. We often push ourselves to be present, even though our hearts aren't in it, and the experience leaves us feeling empty or disconnected. But as the years go by, particularly after 70, life becomes too precious to squander on obligations that fail to enrich our spirits. The weight of these social commitments begins to feel heavier, and it's only natural to yearn for a life filled with authenticity, peace, and joy. At this stage, we've earned the right to prioritize our well-being and happiness. It's not just a luxury. It's a necessity for living a life that resonates with who we truly are at our core. It's okay to say no. It's more than okay. It's empowering. It's liberating to realize that you can politely decline invitations, withdraw from gatherings, and release yourself from relationships that no longer serve you. The fear of guilt or disappointing others fades away when we embrace the truth that our time is sacred, and we deserve to spend it in ways that nurture us, not deplete us. Have you ever attended a social event simply because you felt obligated, only to leave feeling emotionally drained, your energy sapped, and your spirit diminished? Imagine the freedom that comes with choosing only those activities that bring joy, uplift your soul, and ignite your passion. The beauty of this phase in life lies in the clarity and control you now have over your social interactions. You can create space for the things and people that truly matter. The ones that leave you feeling invigorated, heard, and understood. It might mean spending time with a few close friends who genuinely lift your spirit, participating in events that align with your passions, or even savoring the quiet stillness of an evening at home with a good book or a beloved hobby. Whatever it is, you now have the power to choose what serves your heart, and that choice is yours alone. By being intentional about your social engagements, you'll find that each moment becomes more profound. Every conversation, every gathering, will feel more meaningful because you've made the conscious decision to participate only in things that genuinely resonate with you. You'll also find yourself more present, more engaged, and more connected because you are no longer spreading yourself thin or pretending to be somewhere you don't belong. This isn't about retreating into isolation. It's about being mindful, about reclaiming your time, and investing it where it truly counts. Life at this stage is about honoring your truest self and choosing to fill your days with the moments and connections that elevate you, leaving behind the ones that weigh you down. 4. Chasing society's standards of beauty. For decades, society has relentlessly held up youth and physical appearance as the ultimate markers of beauty, painting a picture of perfection that few can attain without great effort. From the glossy pages of magazines to the ever-present advertisements that fill our screens, we are bombarded with images that equate beauty with flawless, smooth skin, toned bodies, and an eternally youthful face. These ideals are relentlessly marketed to us, subtly weaving into our psyche the belief that our worth is defined by how closely we align with these superficial standards. As a result, many of us find ourselves caught in an exhausting and often painful pursuit of staying young or desperately attempting to conceal the inevitable signs of aging. However, as we cross the threshold of 70, the idea of chasing these transient, external standards fades into irrelevance. The battle against wrinkles, gray hair, and other natural markers of aging becomes not only futile but deeply unnecessary. These signs are not blemishes on our beauty. They are rich, living proof of a life fully embraced and well-lived. Each wrinkle on your face is a chapter in the story of your existence, a testament to the laughter and the tears, the joy and the sorrow you've experienced along the way. Every strand of gray hair carries within it the wisdom that you've gathered over the years, the lessons learned, and the battles fought. They are not signs of decline, but symbols of resilience, strength, and the quiet power that comes with age. Rather than viewing these marks as imperfections to hide, see them for what they truly are, proud symbols of your journey, each one a tribute to your enduring spirit. As the years unfold, the definition of true beauty shifts and matures. No longer is it bound by the narrow confines of external appearance, but it becomes deeply rooted in the qualities that radiate from within, the quiet confidence that comes with self-acceptance, the kindness that touches others with sincerity, the grace that flows effortlessly even in the face of challenges, and the authenticity that can no longer be disguised or faked. These are the attributes that make us infinitely more beautiful than any passing trend or fleeting ideal of beauty could ever hope to be. The people we admire the most, the ones we hold in the highest regard, are rarely those who fit society's narrow and unrealistic definitions of beauty. They are the ones who exude warmth, wisdom, compassion, and love. They have learned to embrace their bodies as they are, to accept their imperfections, and to recognize the profound beauty in the years they have lived. When you release the pressure to conform to society's unattainable standards, you open the door to fully embracing yourself, imperfections and all. You no longer have to waste precious energy hiding the natural signs of aging or striving to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. By accepting your body and appearance with deep, unwavering love and gratitude, you liberate yourself from the soul-crushing cycle of striving for something that was never broken in the first place. The beauty you possess at 70 and beyond is not merely skin deep. It is a reflection of your life, your experiences, your spirit, and the quiet strength that has carried you through each day. It is a beauty that no amount of external validation can compare to, because it is the truest and most profound form of beauty there is. 5. Holding on to activities that no longer bring fulfillment. As we journey through life, we naturally accumulate a series of routines, hobbies, and activities that once ignited a fire of passion and joy within us. These were the things that brought us comfort, companionship, and meaning. Moments of pure happiness that made us feel alive. But as the years pass, things change. What once filled our hearts with delight may now leave us feeling weary, disenchanted, or even burdened. After 70, it becomes essential to take a heartfelt pause and reflect on how we spend our precious time. It's time to release the grip on activities that no longer bring fulfillment or ignite that spark of joy. This isn't about giving up everything you once cherished. It's about a deeper introspection, asking yourself if these activities still hold the same magic they once did. Perhaps you were once filled with excitement as you gathered with friends for a weekly bridge game. But now, instead of joy, you feel exhausted, disconnected, or uninterested. Maybe you've been a devoted member of a club for years, attending every meeting with enthusiasm, but now you find yourself questioning its relevance in your life. If you can no longer feel the deep connection you once had, it's okay to step back and let go. Releasing these outdated routines doesn't signify weakness or failure. It's an act of self-compassion and wisdom. It creates space, both mentally and emotionally, for fresh experiences that will nourish your soul in the present moment. As you grow older, your values and desires naturally shift, and that's perfectly okay. You may find yourself drawn to new forms of creativity, like painting, which unleashes a hidden artist within, or gardening, where the simple act of nurturing plants brings a sense of peace and grounding. Perhaps writing, whether in the form of poetry, journaling, or storytelling, opens new windows of expression that you never thought possible. In this new phase of life, you may discover a profound joy in spending quiet, meaningful moments with loved ones, enjoying deep conversations, or simply being present with them. The truth is, your heart and mind are constantly evolving, and so too should your activities. Letting go of what no longer serves you allows you to embrace what genuinely speaks to your soul today. It's about permitting yourself to evolve, to shed the old, and to welcome the new. Knowing that life after 70 holds a world full of opportunity, growth, and the possibility for profound fulfillment. Embrace it with open arms and allow your journey to unfold with renewed purpose and joy. 6. Tolerating toxic relationships. Relationships are the foundation of our lives, shaping how we experience the world, who we become, and how we connect with others. They hold the potential to bring us immense joy, fulfillment, and companionship, enriching our emotional well-being and giving life a deeper meaning. Yet, not all relationships are designed to nurture and uplift us. Some relationships, whether with a close friend, a family member, or even a colleague, become toxic, eroding our mental, emotional, and even physical health. These connections often begin with good intentions or are held together out of a sense of obligation, but over time, they morph into sources of profound stress, frustration, and sorrow. As we move into the later chapters of our lives, especially after the age of 70, we must ask ourselves, why continue tolerating toxic relationships that weigh us down when we've earned the right to protect our peace and well-being? Toxic relationships, while often insidious and subtle in their beginnings, come in many painful forms, each one capable of leaving lasting scars on our hearts and minds. They could manifest in the form of a friend who constantly criticizes, belittles, or disrespects you, whose words are sharp and wounding, leaving you questioning your worth. It could be a family member whose negativity or bitterness casts a shadow over your every interaction, making you feel isolated and unappreciated, even though you are bound by blood. Or perhaps it's an acquaintance or colleague whose presence in your life makes you feel small, invisible, or constantly on edge, unsure of your place in their world. Regardless of the form they take, toxic relationships often have one thing in common. They leave us emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and spiritually depleted. They chip away at our confidence, leaving us feeling lost, unworthy, or unlovable. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Yet, despite the pain these relationships bring, we often cling to them out of a misguided sense of duty or obligation. We convince ourselves that enduring their toxicity is somehow an act of loyalty, love, or sacrifice that by tolerating their behavior, we are doing the right thing, honoring a commitment, or upholding a sense of family or friendship. But as time goes on, we come to realize that this self-sacrifice is not an act of strength, nor is it truly out of love. It is, in fact, an act of self-sabotage. The longer we stay, the more our mental and emotional well-being is compromised. It's like carrying a weight that doesn't belong to us, a burden that, over time, becomes heavier and more unbearable. Walking away from toxic relationships is not selfish. It is a powerful and necessary act of self-care. It's a declaration to the world, and more importantly, to ourselves, that our peace of mind, our joy, and our emotional health are worth protecting. The courage to walk away from what no longer serves us is one of the greatest acts of love we can give ourselves. It is not a rejection of the person or the relationship itself, but rather a recognition that we are no longer willing to allow negativity and toxicity to define our lives. After decades of life experiences, we understand the value of nurturing our well-being and the importance of preserving our inner peace. As we age, we gain clarity. Clarity to recognize when something or someone is no longer contributing to our growth or happiness, and the strength to let go of it. You have lived long enough to know that your time is precious, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who genuinely lift you. You deserve the kind of relationships that make your heart feel full, your spirit feels light, and your life feels rich with meaning. Surrounding yourself with those who support you, who appreciate you, and who see you for who you truly are, is not just a privilege, it's a necessity. You are worthy of being loved and valued for all the wisdom, kindness, and strength you bring to the world. Let go of the toxic connections that have weighed you down for far too long. Create space in your life for relationships that nurture your soul, that bring you joy, and that fill your heart with love and light. When you step away from the people and situations that drain you, you free yourself to experience the peace and serenity you've long deserved. Imagine the freedom that comes with no longer having to second-guess the motivations of those around you, no longer dreading the emotional weight that some relationships bring. Have you ever noticed how much lighter you feel after spending time with someone who genuinely respects you, values your presence, and appreciates you for exactly who you are? These are the people who bring joy into your life, and who fill you with laughter, warmth, and love. These are the relationships that matter, the ones that leave you feeling inspired, rejuvenated, and seen. You deserve to be in relationships that make you feel alive, heard, and respected. Letting go of the toxic ones paves the way for the connections that matter most, the ones that empower you, fill you with energy, and make life richer and more meaningful. Think of those relationships that lift you, that encourage your growth, and that allow you to be your authentic self without fear of judgment. These are the relationships that should be your priority now. These are the bonds that will stand the test of time, providing you with a sense of belonging, fulfillment, and love in your later years. By choosing to prioritize these positive, healthy relationships, you are not just enhancing the quality of your life. You are also setting the stage for a deeper, more profound sense of peace and happiness. Every relationship you nurture should be a source of strength, support, and joy, not a drain on your energy. These relationships will provide you with the love and companionship that is essential for your emotional well-being. And by surrounding yourself with these people, you create a network of care, connection, and love that can weather any storm. As you move forward in this stage of life, remember, it's never too late to let go of what no longer serves you and to create space for the people and experiences that truly nourish your soul. Release the weight of toxic relationships, embrace the freedom that comes with doing so, and step into the future with open arms, ready to build new, more meaningful connections. In doing so, you give yourself the gift of peace, love, and the joy that comes with living authentically, surrounded by those who truly care about your well-being. Your time is precious, and you deserve relationships that reflect the beautiful, wise, and strong person you are. 7. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is often called the thief of joy, and this saying resonates with deep, undeniable truth. Throughout our lives, it's so easy to fall into the trap of constantly measuring ourselves against others. Whether it's the seemingly perfect family living next door, a friend's undeniable financial success, or a sibling's impressive achievements, We often find ourselves standing in the shadow of others, wondering if we measure up. In moments of vulnerability, we start to question if we are truly happy, successful, or even worthy, based on what those around us have accomplished. But as we grow older, particularly by the time we reach 70, something profound begins to shift within us. We come to understand a powerful and liberating truth. Everyone's journey is uniquely their own. The more we compare ourselves to others, the more we rob ourselves of the one thing that truly matters, our happiness. There is no universal map, no one-size-fits-all blueprint for success, fulfillment, or peace. What lights up someone else's soul may not ignite the same fire in ours, and that's perfectly okay. That's what makes us human. Each person's story is rich with different moments, challenges, and triumphs, and none of us can walk someone else's path. By the time we reach the wisdom of our later years, we've learned to embrace the beauty of our journey. Flawed, messy, and uniquely ours. Our life is a sacred reflection of our own choices, experiences, and the values we hold dear. When we release the shackles of comparison, we allow ourselves the precious freedom to fully embrace who we are and the path we've walked. Every step we've taken, whether it has been full of triumphs or laden with struggles, has led us to where we are today. Instead of measuring our worth against the achievements of others, we begin to celebrate ourselves. Every accomplishment, no matter how small it may seem in the eyes of others, is a victory. We have learned to find joy in the quiet, unseen moments. In the peace of knowing we have done our best, in the strength of our resilience, in the kindness we've offered along the way. These are the things that matter most. The experiences we've lived, the lessons we've learned, these are priceless treasures. By focusing on our path, we open the door to a life of authenticity and true contentment. When we stop looking outward for validation and instead look inward to honor our progress, we create space to feel whole, enough, and deeply fulfilled. You are not defined by the lives of others. You are defined by the story you are writing with every breath you take. 8. Clinging to outdated goals. As we journey through life, we often set goals shaped by the expectations of society, our dreams, and the ambitions we held in the past. In our youth, these goals may have been driven by the desire to build an impressive career, achieve financial independence, or earn recognition in a specific field. We chase these goals with fervor, believing they define our worth and our success. But as the years unfold and time changes us, the dreams we once held so tightly may no longer resonate with who we are becoming. By the time we reach our 70s, our hearts and minds have evolved, and with that evolution comes the realization that our priorities have shifted. The goals we once saw as the epitome of success might no longer seem as urgent or meaningful. The drive for external achievements like climbing the corporate ladder or accumulating wealth can feel hollow compared to the deep longing for personal fulfillment, peace, and connection with the people who matter most. At this stage of life, it is not only acceptable but deeply liberating to reevaluate the goals that once defined us. The act of letting go of old aspirations, goals that no longer align with our values or desires, can be a powerful release. For example, you might have spent decades pursuing promotions and recognition, but now, the thought of spending quiet moments with family and enjoying the presence of loved ones brings far greater joy and satisfaction. Perhaps you once lived in the pursuit of wealth, but now, the richness of life is measured in experiences, memories, and the precious time spent in the company of those you cherish. Redefining your goals in this new chapter of life allows you to reconnect with your deepest self and the passions that fuel your soul. It is about understanding what brings you peace, contentment, and a sense of purpose in the here and now. The goals that once guided your path may have been important, but they were for a different version of you, a younger you. As you embrace the person you are today, you begin to shed the weight of outdated ambitions, liberating yourself to live with greater intention and authenticity. This is the time to pursue the things that stir your heart, that make you feel alive in a way that no external accolade or material success ever could. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you allow space for the things that truly matter to emerge. Things that bring fulfillment, connection, and a legacy of peace and joy that resonates with the person you have become. This is your time to live fully, honor your journey, and embrace the beautiful simplicity of living for what truly matters. 9. Feeling guilty for prioritizing your happiness. For so many of us, life has been a long journey of putting others first. We've spent years, decades, even, dedicating ourselves to the care and well-being of family members, fulfilling work obligations, and meeting the endless expectations of friends and loved ones. It's been a labor of love, but somewhere along the way, we may have lost sight of ourselves, our own needs, and most importantly, our happiness. Now, as we step into the later chapters of life, it's easy to feel an overwhelming sense of guilt when we dare to take a moment to prioritize our joy and well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But let me say this with every ounce of sincerity: it's time to shed that guilt. After 70 years of pouring your heart, soul, and energy into the lives of others, it's finally your turn to take a deep breath and say, I matter too. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your joy, these things are not secondary, they are just as important as anyone else's. For too long, society has taught us to be selfless, to give until we have nothing left to give. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are to continue giving, loving, and nurturing those around you, you must first nourish yourself. This isn't selfishness, it's essential. Prioritizing your own emotional, mental, and physical health is not a luxury. It is a profound necessity. When you invest in your well-being, you are not just enriching your own life, but you are also enhancing the lives of those you love. You become a better friend, a better partner, a better parent or grandparent, because you show up with a heart full of joy, energy, and gratitude. So, what truly brings you joy? What makes your heart sing with delight? Is it the freedom to travel and explore new horizons? The soothing peace of spending time in nature, breathing in the fresh air, and feeling the earth beneath your feet? Is it rediscovering a long-forgotten hobby that once filled you with excitement, or simply unwinding with a book that takes you to another world? Whatever it is, let it be your priority. Allow yourself to indulge in what makes you feel alive, what brings warmth and laughter to your soul. You deserve this. You've earned the right to be happy. It's not about being selfish. It's about honoring yourself, the journey you've walked, and the love you've given. When you make your happiness a priority, you don't just enrich your own life. You uplift everyone around you. Your joy becomes a beacon that lights the way for others, inspiring them to prioritize their happiness as well. So, step into this chapter of life with open arms, ready to embrace the joy, freedom, and fulfillment that you so richly deserve. As we come to the end of this powerful reflection on prioritizing our happiness, let's take a moment to think about what we've learned. Have you realized that putting yourself first isn't selfish, but essential for your well-being and the well-being of those around you? That true joy comes from nurturing your own heart, just as you've done for others throughout your life. I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned today that you will bring into practice in your life? Please share it with us in the comments below. Let's inspire each other with the wisdom we've gathered along the way. If you found value in this video, don't forget to leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and share it with those who might need to hear this message too. And of course, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and let's continue to prioritize our happiness together.